Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing the Storm Arena Street Fighter Alpha 3 Ken. Now, this is an interesting figure because Storm Collectibles usually do a more high-end and larger scale posable figure range, but almost in response to what Jada Toys have been doing, Storm have decided to lower the scale of their figures, cheapen the price, and sort of target the exact same market that Jada is going for. In Australia, they are slightly more expensive than Jada Toys, but they do come with some slight different quality changes that sort of justify that price point, or at least I feel it justifies that price point, and they are still relatively in the same field, so it is still a very inexpensive posable figure. Now, if you've seen my YouTube short on this figure, then you know that I unfortunately have a faulty copy, which is missing a hand, so it kinda sucks. He's missing his left fist, and for a figure like a Street Fighter figure, a fist is really important, and so that kinda sucks. If it was missing any accessory, it would be disappointing, but I don't know, I feel like the fist in particular is very disappointing. That being said, we do get a pretty good loadout of accessories. So we've got the figure itself, there's an alternate face part, there's a flaming Shoryuken effect part, as well as several different hands, and a stand. Now, I will preface this by saying that I have not used the stand. It does look a little bit weird. I've seen a couple of reviews using it. I didn't use it because I was in the process of getting an exchange, so I could get a figure with all the accessories, so I didn't want to open up anything that was in a sealed bag, just in case that was necessary for the exchange process. So while it does come with a stand, I did not use the stand. When the Ryu comes out and I do inevitably review that, I'll probably look at the stand then, but just know that he does come with a stand, I just haven't used it. But taken out of the box and put on a display here is Storm Arena Ken, and he looks really good, minus the hand, but the color is nice, it's very high saturation, looks bright and bold, looks very much like the character should, and all of the paintwork and detail looks very nice. He does have an aesthetic that looks less toy-like than, say, Jada. I will be comparing this to the Jada line, and Jada has many similarities to other toy lines like Marvel Legends and things like that, but Storm being like a high-end figurine manufacturer for so long, I feel like they've worked on proportions just a tiny bit different, as well as how joints and joint systems work, so the aesthetic of this figure looks way different, especially because this is an Alpha variant and not the Street Fighter 2 variant that Jada are going for. So while talking about Jada, here he is next to the Jada Toys Ryu. Normally I would compare him to, say, like the Jada Toys Ken, but I have actually decided to sell most of my Jada Toys figures, except for like core ones like M. Bison, Dhalsim, and the base Ryu. And I did that mainly because the rough aesthetic of the Jada Toys, while I do like them, I feel like pretty much all of the faces don't read as the characters should. I do understand that it is sort of like the Street Fighter 2 style, but even then, they don't really match that style. In particular, they're more toy-like. Whereas I want my figures to be a little bit more true to the character, or at least the style that they're trying to represent. And that's one of the things that I think Storm Arena do quite well, which is they're trying to replicate that look of the character at that time. So this is very focused on being Alpha Ken, and from what I've seen, the Ryu looks like Alpha Ryu, the Sagat looks like Alpha Sagat, the Chun-Li is in the Alpha outfit, there's Charlie Nash, so everything looks fairly true to the character they're meant to be. While Jada does a really good job, it's just not exactly what I'm looking for aesthetically all the time. And here he is next to the SH Figuarts Vegeta, so you can see how he scales with that line, and yeah, that was a big rant during a size comparison. But moving right along, let's talk about posability. So he's got a ball joint in the head and neck, allows for some pretty good range of motion. It is a Storm figure, so the head does pop off relatively easily, but it does also pop on really easily as well. He's got a soft chest, which is something that the Storm Collectibles line has, and that is quite interesting. You can remove the gi if you would like, and there is some good rotation and movement in the arms, so up arm swivel, double bend at the elbow, a hinge at the wrist, and there is a butterfly hidden in that soft chest. which is similar to what they do with the Storm Collectibles line. So it's really cool to see, nice and smooth joints. He's got a ball joint in the chest as well, which allows for a good amount of crunching and movement. Just feels very, very nice to play with. The hair is also a soft plastic, so it doesn't really get in the way of anything. You can also swivel the waist. You can do the splits pretty much perfectly. You can kick forward and back really well. And he's got a upper thigh swivel. Got a double bend at the knee, as well as a pivot and hinge at the ankle, as well as a hinge at the toes. It is also interesting that this figure has more posability than some of the Storm Collectibles figures that I have had in the past. Like, he's got more sort of leg movement than the Juri that I used to have, so it's kind of weird. I did also sell that Juri because they're doing the Amazing Yamaguchi one, which is on, as of recording, on an indefinite delay, which really, really sucks. There are rumors that it'll come in the next couple months, but still kind of weird that there's been radio silent on it. And that's a whole nother can of worms. Now we get two faces for Ken, so we've got this sort of neutral, smiley-ish face out of the box, as well as this sort of cocky smirk, which looks really, really nice. As criticism of the line so far, I think they should have had a straight-up actiony face, like a shouting or teeth-gritted angry face. I feel like, especially for Street Fighter, it's really important to convey very basic fighting emotions. And it kind of sucks that Ken doesn't have that. Very, very neutral-ish sort of face loadout, so you'll be using that neutral face for most of the poses generally. Or you'll be trying to obstruct the face just so that expression doesn't really show. There's still really nice expressions, just really tricky to have for a figure like this. But with those accessories and the posability, you can get Ken into some really nice poses. I tried my best with the limited hand option, but his open Hadouken hand sort of worked well enough. And with that really, really nice posability, he just works so well, catches the light so nicely, the color is so good, and I was really, really happy with him. He holds his weight really, really well and holds a pose fantastically. Even when I did like his high kick with the stand, I feel like you could have balanced it just right so he didn't even need the stand. Effectively, that stand is just there as backup, but it just felt really nice and solid overall. The Shoryuken effect part is nice. I feel like it could have been just a tiny bit more exaggerated, but I am very happy that it's a Ken that comes with a Shoryuken, because the Jada just came with a Fire Hadouken and that kind of sucked. And then they released different color versions of Ken that do actually come with the Shoryuken, which is cool, but it just makes it difficult to get all the accessories you want when you need to buy multiple of certain characters, which is sort of why I was going down on Jada just a bit, especially with like the color variants for the SDCC ones. They are cool, and the accessories are really, really cool, but I've already got Dhalsim and M. Bison, and I like the classic color schemes for M. Bison and Dhalsim. But that's a whole other thing. This is a fantastic figure, really good price point, really good posability, and it makes me very, very hopeful for the rest of the line, the rest of the Street Fighter line, the Baki line, any other brands and IPs that they pick up. I am very, very interested in. We are in a sort of interesting little renaissance type thing for affordable posable figures. It's a really good time for posable figures in general, but we're in a really interesting time for affordable posable figures because Jada's doing their thing. They're getting all sorts of really cool licenses. Storm are now pivoting a little bit to incorporate a much higher end of figures as well as a lower end of figures, so that's really cool. Hiya Toys is on the attack because as of recording, SDCC is going on, so they're doing all sorts of Godzilla things. I saw they're going to be doing the Persona figures. I think that it was Hiya are going to be doing Mega Man X figures as well, and they're going to be doing Monster Hunter figures because they showed a posable Nergigante from Monster Hunter World, and that was really, really cool. And the only other like posable monsters you could get were SH Monster Arts, and they're cool, no doubt, but I imagine Hiya's price point will be much more eye-catching. So we are in a very, very interesting time right now. Marvel Legends are also doing all those Gameverse figures, SH Figuarts is doing the Gameverse figures. It's getting pretty crazy right now, and the future is very exciting for more affordable or more varied figurines. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will see you all next time. Oh hi, I didn't see you there. As you can see, I'm hard at work making new videos for the channel. Now, while I'm happy with where the channel is right now, I could use your help. By liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel, it helps out the YouTube algorithm and recommends my channel to more people. So if you like any of my videos, please let me know, it really helps out. And if you liked this one, please let me know too. It means a lot to me, and I really, really appreciate all of you guys.